Hey y'all, so today I made some stuffed shells and I was gonna go live, but y'all, I just didn't feel like it. I was kind of tired, and plus I needed some content for my other social media platforms, so I decided to record today instead of going live. But let me show y'all how I made these stuffed taco shells. I first preheated my oven to 375. And then after that, to a pot of water, I added some salt. And then I added some zero chicken bouillon seasoning to that. And make sure you do the zero salt, y'all, because, like, it will be salty if you add too much. And then I seasoned my ground beef with Badia Complete. And then I added some Italian chicken. And, of course, Kinder's. And then I add some Kinder's caramelized onion butter. And then I added some Italian seasoning because you got to add that. And then basil. And then oregano. And then some seasoned oil by Morton. Don't add a whole lot of salt because the cheese will have a lot of salt. So you don't need a whole lot of salt. Into my boiling water, I added my jumbo shells, and then you add those. Keep stirring them because they'll stick to the bottom of the pan, but so make sure you stir. After my ground beef was browned, I drained the liquid off, and then I put it back on the stove and added a can of Rotel. I took some of those tomatoes out because they put too many tomatoes in the can now and not enough liquid. And then I added some low sodium taco seasoning, and I put half a water in that pack and then added it to the ground beef just so that you can get it combined really good and it won't be real dry and hard to combine. So just a little bit of water. And then I added some cheese, Kraft cheese. I added 2 slices of Kraft cheese because that's going to make it really good. So make sure you don't skip that. And then I added a few blocks of Velveeta cheese because I love Velveeta cheese. So I cut up a few cubes and added the Velveeta cheese. And then I cooked it on low to combine everything, all of the cheese, into my pan. At the bottom, you'll add your marinara and also your tomato basil sauce. You can add any kind of tomato basil, but make sure you add the marinara at the bottom. But then I stuffed my shells with the meat mixture. And then after that, I had meat left, so I usually just sprinkle that throughout the pan just to make sure I use all of the meat, and that makes it a little bit better anyway because you can't never have too much meat. So I just fill in the sections with the meat that if there is any left over, I just always fill that in to make it a little bit thicker, I guess you would say. But after that, I added some of the Prego marinara on top of it. And add as much as you like. I just don't like a whole lot of sauce. But I added that on the top along with some of my basil Prego tomato sauce. I added some of that on the top as well. But add as much you want. Then I did some Colby Jack cheese on the top. And then after that, I added the Fiesta blend cheese. But you really could use any kind of cheese you want. It'd probably be better if you shred your own cheese. But, baby, I was lazy today. And then I put just a little bit of Parmesan and parsley on the top. And then I cooked it in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes. And I paired it with some corn that I made in the oven. Oh, it was so good, y'all. If y'all try it, let me know. Bye, y'all.